2017 was a pretty great year for film, I think. Obviously, I haven't seen all the movies this year, and I've only seen a handful of those Oscar bait type movies, as a lot of them come out in January and February where I live. Once I see them, I'll be making a video on it, but as for now, for the most part, it's the blockbusters that I've seen. All the big budget films that got people talking this year. So, here are my top 10 blockbuster movies of 2017. Let's get right into it. Coming in at number 10 is Wonder Woman. I've already talked about this film quite a bit, but my basic thoughts are, it does have some noticeable flaws, but for the most part, this is both a great superhero and romance movie. It's fun, you like the characters, and it's got some pretty badass action sequences. It has its problems, but is a pretty great movie overall. At number 9 is Thor Ragnarok. The previous 4 movies were fine, but nothing memorable, but this stepped it up in a big way. Taika Waititi's unique style shines throughout this movie, and although some people don't like this, it's really funny. Almost all the jokes land, and not to mention, this film has some great action and visuals. Coming in at number 8 is John Wick Chapter 2. Honestly, all that needs to be said about this movie is that it stars Keanu Reeves. I mean, you can't get better than Keanu Reeves. Apart from this movie starring God as its main protagonist, it's also got some cool visuals, an unlikable villain, and some great action scenes. At number 7, I have Dunkirk. This film isn't really an average blockbuster movie, but it has a big budget and made some big money, so I'm counting it. This is unlike any other film I've ever seen. Unlike a lot of films, this gets you invested in a situation rather than the characters. There are still some characters to latch onto, but you really can't invest in them as much as the story. While others may say this as a negative, I think it's a unique way to present a film and makes you feel like you're actually there. At number 6, I got SpiderMan Homecoming. This movie was a huge surprise for me. The film actually had me worried that it was gonna be bad. The trailers had some weird and dumb moments, the story looked cliché, and overall, I just wasn't looking forward to this. But somehow, everything I didn't like in the trailer actually worked perfectly in the film, and this ended up being my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. At number 5 is a pretty controversial film, but I'm going with Star Wars The Last Jedi. This film may not have been perfect, but I still enjoyed the hell out of it. It's got incredible performances, great action, and is a fine addition to the Star Wars saga. At number 4, I have Baby Driver. Edgar Wright is just a genius, plain and simple. All of his films are just incredible for having tiny little details that barely anyone notices, and this is no exception. Baby Driver also has some great performances and characters, action, and one killer soundtrack. As for my top 3 films this year, I'd say I love each of them basically equally. But I can't have a three-way tie, so here they are in the best order I could put them in. At number 3, I have Get Out. This is just a fantastic horror film. It's got a great protagonist, terrifying villains, and some fun little comedic moments. Doesn't mean it's a comedy though. It also has some interesting commentary about racism, and it's just a genius movie. The whole way through you're just guessing what's gonna happen, but the movie keeps on surprising you. Coming in at number 2, I have It. It is just a fun yet terrifying horror movie. There's some genuinely horrifying scenes mixed together with some sweeter and funnier moments. The movie just mixes together these tones so well. The characters are likable and interesting, Henry Bowers and Pennywise are great villains, and It is just a great movie overall. Before I reveal my number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Pretty great for the most part, but held back by a script that just needed a little more tweaking. Atomic Blonde had one of the greatest action scenes of all time in a pretty by-the-numbers spy movie. The Lego Batman movie, for the most part fun, but the final act is just not that great. War for the Planet of the Apes, some fantastic moments, but some incredibly slow pacing. Kong Skull Island, very fun, yet very dumb. And my number 1 favorite movie of 2017 is Logan. Looking back, it's quite incredible what superhero movies have become and how it's gone to a point where a movie like this can be made, and it's about Wolverine. I'm not only glad that we can see a violent, bloody Wolverine movie, but we can also see a superhero movie that has real themes about violence, oppression, and even death. It's just great to see the superhero genre go into different directions, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. Anyway, those are my top 10 favorite blockbuster movies of 2017. Thanks for watching, remember to like this video, I'd really appreciate it, leave a comment and subscribe for more videos like this one. Also, Happy New Year's. Hope you have a great 2018. I'm so tired.